What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, bro. It's been so long since I've made a video, and you guys have been asking for a tutorial, so I am going to give y'all a tutorial. So I'm not gonna waste any of your guys' time. I'll talk about myself later in the video because I'm not really important. So first of all, what app do I use? The Sketchbook. If somebody asks me that same question for the millionth time, I'm gonna crash out on their top first. Okay. Anyways, first step before you even making the profile picture, you need to change the canvas size. Oh no, there's a sketchbook. I'm on the PC version. I should probably say that. The PC version is different from the mobile version. The mobile version is different. I think when you make a new canvas, you have to make a completely new canvas. Then it will ask you for your canvas size. But on PC, you just crop it. And I usually set it to 500 by 500 since it's a nice small square. And the reason why I love it to be a small square because when you try to export it and import it to different websites, it doesn't like compress it that much and it makes it all pixelated. So whatever you draw here usually is gonna stay like that. But that does mean you have to make all your brushes smaller and less space, but not really a big deal. So now that we have our small canvas, usually to make a profile picture, you will need to have a character to draw. In this case, I'll be drawing a real human. Alright, so we have this young individual right here. It's kind of pixelated. I don't know why it's so pixelated, bro. So we'll be using this guy as a reference. I think his name is Sergio Plays on YouTube. Anyways, so we should probably put this at the bottom. First step when I make a profile picture is actually to sketch it out before I even start inking anything. You need to actually have something to have. So what I usually do is with the pencil, I just start sketching around, and since this is based off a real human, I have way more options on what to do. Start off with the circle and just start sketching. There's not really much to go into that, honestly. You just start sketching. So I'll probably cut to when I'm done sketching. So this sketch is pretty much finished for what I'm going to do. Pretty basic. You want to keep your sketches pretty short. You don't want to spend too much time on them because this is not going to be the fun project. Because there is going to be the inking stage where you could add more stuff or remove stuff, because the sketch is basically just there to be a sketch. First, after that, what you want to do, make a new layer, obviously. Lower down the opacity of the inking layer though. Then have a new layer of the inking brush. Doesn't really matter, whatever inking brush you use is fine. You see, like big. So just go over what you have. So I'm gonna mention this because this drawing, which I'm using as a reference, has facial hair, and I've never actually drawn facial hair since you guys probably know me from scratch. Almost everyone there is a kid. So kids usually won't have facial hair to their. I haven't uploaded a video in a long time, so this is like my first time uploading a video in probably over a year. Don't expect much, honestly. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things of uploading videos, but I just don't like have any video ideas, and I'm honestly not sure what to upload on this channel anymore, because originally I planned on making animations, but now you see me do art. Comment down below if you'd like to see more art related videos, or I don't know, story times. Probably still watching this. Okay, so now the next step, you want to hide the layer. Finish like any inking you haven't done, like actually before I need to save this. Yeah, I needed to save that. Now it says okay at the top. So just finish your inking, honestly, or not. Okay, so this next part is gonna be fixing up your line work, because a common mistake guess people make is they just keep everything the same line thickness, which is kind of bad. It like looks kind of bad sometimes. So as you can see here on the head, it's like a very thick line. Then for the ears, it's a slightly thinner line. Basically, it looks better because everything when it's a line thickness, it just looks really flat. There's no like detail. So keep in mind that you need to make the thicker lines when it's closer to like the foreground, so the head is obviously closer to the viewer than it is from this other ear. You can also see in the photo reference, you see like this head is like it leans more on this bottom half because like it's a bottom shot. I didn't really keep that in the drawing, but it's very big from the bottom part, and then it like kind of stretches inwards. I can't speak, bro. But you get what I'm talking about. So we have line weights. That's what's called. Different line thicknesses. And now you could hide the outline layer or the sketch layer. And now you could start off with the coloring layer. Which before you even do that, you want to change your background color to a mid-tone gray, because then you could actually show what the true color is. Because color theory is like really complicated. I don't really fully understand it. Doesn't really matter. You're like 10 if you're watching this. So you want to color in everything. You're seeing that I'm coloring the shirt and like the neck the same color, which you'll see why in just a second. Basically, with the fill bucket, you want to fill it in the color layer instead of the outline layer. Because there's a thing I see people do on Scratch a lot. They use the fill bucket tool to color in the line work, which looks really bad because then you have to close in every line, and sometimes you don't want to close in every line like here. Okay, so from this part, I'm just gonna commentate over what I'm drawing. So after you color in everything, you want to lock the layer, so when you color over it, no colors go outside of it. That's the reason why you color in everything and use the fill bucket, so then you could use your different colors and then just color it in. Just use it. Yeah, it makes it just easier for me, because then you don't have to worry about the colors going out. So you can see here I'm coloring the shirt and the hair, even though it looks very Sigma. And basically that's what I do for the rest of this coloring part. I just finishing the coloring the hair and the eyes and the shirt, basically everything that has color. And this part you can see me draw facial hair. I've never drawn facial hair in my life, so yeah, you can see me struggling here. You guys probably don't have to worry about facial hair if you are watching this from scratch, but you can see me struggling here. I probably should have looked up some video. If you guys are curious on drawing facial hair, probably should look up a video. I probably should have done that before, and you probably shouldn't do what I did of drawing the beard and the same layer as the outline, because now I can't change it back like it's bad. Okay, next part. Okay, so for this next part is the shading or the rendering, whatever you want to call it. It's very relatable, but basically what I first start off doing is color picking the original skin color and then changing the hue more to the red, because if you didn't know, skin has blood underneath it. That's how your body works. If you didn't know that, there's blood underneath your skin, so that's why you should always make the skin lean over more to the red. But obviously it changes depending on the ambient, but usually most of the time you will want to lean more to the red side. When you want to shade your skin, don't just make it darker, change the hue entirely. It's called hue shifting. Okay, later on they changed the shading color, and you're seeing what I'm doing here is adding more red, like a reddish color, more pink, to blend in the base skin color and the actual shadow. It's called subsurface scattering. You probably shouldn't do it on over the head. I just like the look of it, but you most definitely need to add them at the tips of the ears and like fingertips. There's images on screen of examples of subsurface scattering, basically because there's blood underneath your skin, and if light hits it, it like makes it show more. It doesn't really matter. Actually, it does matter. It makes your art look, it makes the shading of the skin look way better, and it looks more like flesh instead of just a base regular flat color. So now I'm done with most of the shading. Now, since we're basing this off a reference, I'll be shadowing the hair at once while rendering the hair, which is actually super simple with this way I'm showing you guys. Well, I'm not really showing you. So what you do is lower down the opacity a little bit of just a regular brush. Doesn't really matter, you can use a textured brush. But then just kind of draw each individual hair strand, and just keep overlapping it with darker colors over time. It's way easier to do with curly hair, since you just like get little motions. It's really hard for me to do with straight hair, but basically that's all you gotta do. Just keep layering it, and I'll show you the final result. So on the same layer, I'm just gonna be rendering the facial hair at once with the hair. All I really did was do the same thing, just with a smaller brush and a darker color, so it gives it more of a hair texture, like a more sharp hair texture, which is how beards look like, which you could kind of see it now. now that I've layered a couple colors on it. Now for this next part is the lighting, and I'm gonna be so real. I got the same feeling as when somebody's watching you do art while recording this, bro, because I straight up forgot how to draw. But first, what I do is I get a light color, make a light with the airbrush, like airbrush kind of carrying right now. But then I just add a bounce light on the face and on the clothes and pretty much everything, but try not to exaggerate them too much. I'm not adding it to the hair since I'm basing it off the reference. The reference doesn't have any bounce light on the hair, but I did change my mind later in the drawing to add a little bit more detail. Since I'm a little bit crazy, usually on these like parts of my drawing process, I just keep swapping between the background and the lighting layer. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm a little bit impatient, so I just kind of do both at once. So I'm already doing the white outline, which some people ask me how I do it. I literally just draw it manually, just kind of go over it. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Like, you could copy it and make it bigger, I don't know. I just like tracing over it. So now at this part is when I try to decide what background color I should choose. I should have just asked my mom what background color should I choose. She told me to do blue, so I'm doing blue, and it looks alright. Usually I just make it darker, but honestly lately I've been experimenting more. Just make the color complement well with the character, bro. Just don't make them that close to each other on the color wheel. And also don't like make the colors not even like go well together, like highlighter yellow or green. I also did forget to mention earlier when my mic cut out to flip the canvas to see any mistakes you have. You can see me here flipping my canvas. I just way too late. Usually do it when you're checking the line art, because the line art is mostly important. So for this little section I'm not really doing much, but you could see me readjusting some colors, which don't be ashamed to do, because sometimes color needs to be changed. And during this entire process I do readjust a lot of things from the base, like from the beginning to the end. I will adjust a lot of things from line work to colors like later on, so that is a tip I would give. I did add some more effects later on, but now what I'm mainly focusing on is the background, and usually I keep the background simple since I want most of the attention to be on the character and not on the background. So what I do is like add a pattern. Usually it's just dots. I just add a dotted background, which is literally just a dotted brush. And even if you don't have a dotted brush, you can just go online and just like dot background PNG. These highlights are very important because they give them very good detail. But anatomically speaking, your eyes have this little glare, and they like kind of point to where the light is coming from. Yeah, just in general looks pretty cool. You could see it from a distance too. This is now just like the final stretch. Yeah, I'm just adding any final details like the shadows and adding any more highlights if necessary. Now that I'm finishing up this drawing, what I like to do now is to add some sort of texture on the top of the drawing and add a multiply layer and then lower down the opacity. It gives it some texture. I used just a noise filter online. You could just search up anything. You could use paper texture or noise texture like what I did, or just try experimenting with a bunch of things. It does give it a little extra layer of detail. And that's literally about it. I obviously polished it up at the end, added the watermark. So this video is long, and that's me cutting out a bunch of things. So like the entire drawing took me around like an hour, and this video is only showing like 1/3 of the entire recording. But you see what I do, guys, when you guys are curious and ask me things. So if you watched until the end, it's because you loved the video, bro. I was kind of boring. I'm sorry, guys. I was just kind of late when I'm recording this. I don't want to make too much noise. So just leave a like, smash button, subscribe button, comment down below your thoughts if you followed this tutorial, or what I should have included more, or what would you like to see on the channel next time. Yeah, you're seeing the final product on screen right now. It's pretty good. Hopefully you guys can start making better art because you guys